Hey everyone, it's Maribel Blue with a new Maribel Blue Unfiltered. This is the final episode for 2023. And of course, I have help from a girl in a plant world who is going to comment behind anything that I'm talking about. She has no idea what I'm going to be talking about, what I'm going to bring up. So this will be interesting. And if it's long enough, it will be done in two parts. So we just wanted to wrap up the year of different things that occurred, more like what stood out the most this year. And of course, bringing up the notable deaths that also happened. We're going to get into that a little bit. We're not going to do a deep dive, but we're going to make our acknowledgments for sure. So if you are new here, welcome. This is all unfiltered reality TV, which I haven't been doing much of. I think I just got burnt out, and I've only literally watched maybe 3 episodes of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Trust me when I tell you, I will be getting into that, because from what I'm seeing on this post that I shared, I think it was last year, Instagram account is by Wig Hello Drama or something like that. She's or he is always posting, talking about all of these different things that's going on with Garcelle, that's going on with Dorit. I think Dorit said something along the lines of racial shit. So I can't wait to see what comes out of her mouth. Stop that. I hear one of my cats scratching the carpet. I'm definitely going to get into that. And what else? If you're not new here, welcome back. Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you all had a great holiday. I did, and I'm not bragging about it. I'm just saying I did. We're going to start talking about the Golden Bachelor. Now, the last video that I did, it was when he was saying goodbye to all of these women. And for some reason, I got the only giggle fest. I was sitting here and I could not even contain myself. I was laughing so damn hard. And I don't know if it had to do with, I don't know what it had to do with. I have no explanation as to why I had the giggles the way I did. But anyway, I did watch the rest of the series. I did do reaction videos, and I can't recall if I was freezing in those videos and I just decided not to. If those videos are good, I will put them up on my website. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to put them up on YouTube. So I want to talk about the Golden Bachelor. It premiered over the summer. This show had a lot of tears. Look at this. I'm already boring this girl.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's not you, I promise.
Don't lie to me.
I don't know if you were able to catch, if you were watching, this man cried so much in the beginning. And it made me wonder, is he really ready for a relationship? Does he want to be in something everlasting? You had the Karen of the show, which I called Kathy Karen, who was constantly telling Teresa to zip it. That was supposed to be her plaything.
She was so aggressive. Yeah, she was so aggressive. It's what is going on here?
You know, when I think about those moments, I was getting really upset. I was getting upset at the fact she continued to blame her feelings on Teresa. And I think really what made me laugh was, here she was blaming Teresa for her insecurities, even though she would never say that, because she always was talking about how self-assured she was and that she comes off aggressive or rough. But it's almost as if she was trying to make excuses for her rude behavior. That's not somebody who's strong. You're being rude.
Yes.
There's a difference between being empowered and encouraging, and just being an outright rude jerk, which is what she was throughout the whole 4 episodes that she was there. I don't even, we're not going to talk about those personal things, but it just comes down to the way people just carry on and the whole rah-rah attitude. I can't stand that shit. It's just kind of let's just do our work and leave us alone. We don't need to be told what a great job we're doing.
Honestly,
we already know that.
Well, not only that, but I feel as this year comes to an end, for me personally, it's been more clear than ever on goal setting and what I want to go moving forward into this next year. But also it's been a big eye opener. A lot of people had a growing year, a lot of growth in a year. personal
Mhm.
growth. And whether like whatever their dynamic was in their life, they've had a lot of growth and were really tested in so many ways. And I feel like that's finally coming to a head,
Yeah.
like it's coming
Yeah.
to like a
Well, here's the other thing, okay? I want to
can't.
bring this up because you're talking about everything comes to a head. I want to bring this up, right? We all know in the end, Gary picked Teresa. I knew
Yeah.
that was going to happen, but then of course, I start seeing other stories about how he lied on his timeline of when he was working because he worked in a restaurant or he owned a restaurant, and he lied about the timeline, and now everybody's turning their backs on him. And I'm like, you know what, people, you're being a little dramatic, I feel.
It's so true. It's funny how the internet picks and chooses what they want to shine a light on and what they
Mhm.
find to be like worthy of shunning that person for this amount of reasons. I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous how little things can be so triggering.
Yeah.
Like who
Oh,
cares? Like
he's a
people will
liar.
probably lie
He
about their
lied.
personal information.
Yeah. And it's like, shut up, because
Yeah.
you know that you're going to be in front of your TV next month watching the wedding. So don't even play yourself.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's just like, stop it.
It's exactly.
So I just want to say, so they're claiming that Teresa wants a prenup and that Gary's disputing. All of this is alleged. Who knows if this is true? Teresa's friends are telling her tread with caution because everything is going too fast. Just a lot of stuff. But then I find out, right? Because I've got this information from Radar Online. Radar Online got their information from the National Enquirer. The same National Enquirer that talks about Bat Boy and aliens.
That's my
Oh,
favorite topic,
God.
personally. Don't get me started on aliens. We'll be here all
Okay.
damn day.
All right. I am going to share my screen. I'm
Oh
not
my
sure if
gosh.
you know about this topic. So, do you remember the time that I was doing
Okay.
that blog about the Instagram snowflakes and getting their feelings hurt when I was like robbed from replying to other posts for like a day? And I'm saying to myself, what
Yeah.
the hell did I say? So, apparently, women got all in an uproar. This woman hasn't used soap since 2020. This guy over here.
Stop. Stop it right now. I'm
He
done.
put up a video on this. He did like a stitch. Look at her neck. Are you kidding me? Can I make this bigger? Where are the pictures?
Oh, my lord.
Do you
Stop it
see
right
this?
now.
Then he started, what he started to do
How
was,
do you not?
wait.
Oh, no.
I'm trying to stop it from blurring.
What's happening? Why? What the shit that gets put on the internet that people do? That's all I'm gonna say. Like, you don't need to
And
share that
And
information.
you had to read the comments. There was one comment from a guy who commented underneath another woman who said, if you eat clean, you don't need to use soap. And he commented underneath, then both of y'all stink. I was literally in tears. I said, how do you go to the GYN?
Stop. Like, there's so many thoughts that cross my brain. That is shocking.
Why? Why would you do that? You know,
I'm like
think about
actually speechless.
think
already.
about what was going on in 2020. Let's not say it because YouTube and their sensitivity on what you can say and what you cannot say, right? Think about what was going on
Yeah.
during that time. Everybody was collecting toilet paper and you stopped collecting soap because like what was wrong there? I'm not understanding the logic. I'm not.
Like literally, I don't have words. I still don't like. I'm still like dumbfounded over why. It's just like self-care. You just wash your body. Just wash your fucking body. It's not something that is even an argument, a thought. It's just a do. You know what I mean?
No, and then
Just
my
do it.
sister replied, She replied underneath, I guess, my comment. And instead of, you know how like when you use the word in and on, and sometimes you type in O by accident, and she typed in I by
Yes.
accident. So she said that she uses soap
Yeah.
in there, and she meant on there. So then a parade of women were like, oh, you must be itchy. How do you deal with the itch? And I'm like, it's a typo. She meant on. No, that's what I'm reading. I'm like, for real, for real. And this
And
one
you
woman,
personally know.
it's like, how do you deal with the itch? Well,
Oh.
how do you deal with the chafing? Because I saw your picture. How do you deal with that? That must not be fun.
Like, I'm not trying to be mean.
Oh, I'm gonna
Okay.
be mean.
How do you work and not shower? Like, what do you do for a living? Maybe you work at home. That's good. Hopefully. Because that's one of the topics of conversations that you have to have with your employee. Like, girl, you need to take a shower. It's time. 12 days
does
is too long.
anybody
12
think
months is too long. Like,
that water is going to be
2
enough?
days is too long. None of that's enough. Like, yes, so much. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I feel like people try to argue with change in so many
Mhm.
ways. And
Yeah.
it's like, there's a reason why we started showering more as a collective, as humans. Like, you look back and read history of certain time periods, and people used to throw out buckets of shit onto the streets and then walk around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people were also dying of illnesses all the time.
Yeah, it's insane. If you read about history, and I can't remember where I learned this from. It had to be like from school or something like that. And I think it was the Greeks where they would have like feast, and in order for
Yes.
them to make room, they would go to a place to release that food so that they can come back and eat more. And today we know it as bulimia. Because at some point, I'm sure that can't be healthy. But at that time, it was like if you're going to be eating for days, it was probably an insult that you got full and there's still food left over. Who knows what was in anybody's mind back then? We're never going to know. We're here now in this century.
Well, your barber was like also your dentist.
Yeah. I'll check your teeth and cut your hair at the same time.
And I'll be drunk while I'm doing that.
By the way, everybody, I just want to
come
say,
on.
if you are on TikTok, I want you to follow A Girl in a Plant World. This is her page. She did her video. She's doing a series on Houdini. You must watch. And I have to tell you, I probably didn't tell you, I have agita with this man because to know that he liked to encase himself, I don't like that.
I mean, honestly, with this, same. This guy would like literally do the craziest thing. It's mind-blowing how he was like obsessed with tricking people. He wanted to create a show, and he also wanted to create, I don't know, the man was a genius. He had a vision and he executed that vision well, you know, and his wife backed him up too, which was like, I think part of his success was her as well, because they just they worked so well together. And I also think a lot of Houdini, his skepticism about the paranormal world. I don't want to give away too much because I have to finish the series.
Right. But you know what? You're giving a teaser, so that anticipates to be able to watch this series and how you're going to put everything together.
Yes. But he was a mastermind of trickery. What he was able to accomplish, he was, I think, really fueled by disproving the supernatural by showing how well he can trick people by like having an elephant disappear. A whole elephant. What? Catching a bullet in his teeth.
Which is something that David Blaine did.
Yes. Also, the whole being underwater and being able to unlock his chains that he had chain onto him. The amount of, and he was also really athletic too. I don't think people realize how athletic this man was, but he was in top health. He didn't drink, he didn't smoke, he didn't do anything that would risk his health, which is crazy with how he passed away. And there's a lot of
interesting story. I think people were very different during that time. They were more bold, I guess, for lack of a better word. They had more spunk. You know what I mean?
yes,
And it
yes,
wasn't like in a
yes,
way of
yes. It's
being
entertainment.
stupid. Not like people
Yes.
today who do
It was
pranks.
more thoughtful too. With some of the pranks that you see today are just like not even funny. They're just cruel. It's like that's
I
not.
was watching this guy
I'm not
today,
laughing.
and he goes to a guy. He's pretending he's talking on the phone, and he goes to a guy while he's eating, and then puts his hand in the man's food and grabs something, pretending he's talking on the phone. And I'm like, if you did that, there's gonna be a problem.
Would have grabbed that person's hand so fast. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Here's the other crazy thing next to not using soap. Are
I'm
you ready?
nervous.
Are you ready for this one? Park Hill
Oh,
panty
gosh.
thief has neighbors on high alert in Denver. There's a guy in
What?
Denver stealing your panties. There he is. Are you laughing?
Catch this man right away. Dangerous, that's for sure. That's him. That's the panty thief. What a nasty man. I would be fucking terrified if I saw.
Can you imagine seeing a face in the window? I'm trying to steal your panties. I want to smell them. For anybody who's
Cannot.
sensitive, I'm doing a Latin accent. I am Latin, so I'm allowed to do that. Okay. She was doing a Latin accent. I could just hear people now. Yo soy Latina. Okay. So get over it. Sensitive babies. Yeah. So he is stealing panties. I mean, look at him. He is literally look. He's opening. I mean, this man, he's breaking the door
That
open. I mean,
is
he
effort.
is just serious about I gotta get my
He's
hands
not
on
even
those
scared
panties.
of, like,
Look at the
I mean,
commitment that
my
man is making.
friend,
He is making a
we
commitment. I don't mean to laugh
you
about it,
know,
but you know,
let's
go back.
just realize the fact that you can buy used panties on the internet. Are they too expensive? How much does
I
it
mean,
cost to buy
I
a
don't
pair of
know.
used panties?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Like
But
the effort this man went through for free
yeah.
used panties. They're probably not even used. They're probably washed. Buy them then. Go to the store. Live out
I
your
mean, look at the
fetish in
commitment.
secrecy.
He's
Hide it.
breaking down the door. I just don't understand human behavior.
Did you read this, by the way? This guy got stabbed.
Oh,
But it says he shoves my roommate into the wall. My roommate stabbed him twice. Pretty
wait.
shallow.
He had
What?
something in his mouth. It was a sexual toy. You know what? I can't. I've had enough. Let's move on to
And
the
now
next
you
story.
know
'Cause
you
this is too
stabbed
crazy
him
for me.
in a shallow manner.
I mean, it's like
Like,
if he has something in his mouth, there's only one thing that went through my mind, and it wasn't a pacifier. I don't even want to think about it anymore.
this is like a scene out of a fucking Seth Rogen movie. Where it's like a panty thief gets caught with a freaking toy in his mouth and gets stabbed.
I don't even understand. I don't want to understand.
Yeah, I don't either. That's a whole level of thinking that I will never reach.
It's kind of like those
Thank
things that you don't want to have, like on your deathbed. Like you don't want your last thoughts to be, he made a commitment in stealing those panties.
Here lies the panty raider.
And then people will be around your bed like, what does she mean by that?
What if at his funeral, hear me out, what if at his funeral you just toss panties into his casket?
You do it like a, what do you call those things? Like a rubber band?
Yeah, boomerang or whatever. Slingshot.
Yes.
Adios.
I mean, if dude is serious, you know, I have panties that they're in a suitcase that I can get rid of, and he can have them all.
I
You
mean,
don't have to pay
if
me
he
anything.
really wants to get serious about this, where he should be at, let's be real, the Goodwill. We know that's where this guy needs to be at, not someone's house.
Wait, you know what would be
Committing
funny?
a crime.
What if he got panties from there and one of the panties was possessed, right? And then he gets
First of all,
haunted by, he'll see like black shadows,
the
but
missed
like
opportunities.
the black shadow would be like a panty head.
Why am I thinking of Stingray guy from SpongeBob?
Squidward?
He was a villain.
Oh,
No,
the Strangler?
no, yes.
All right, let's get into something more serious. Are you ready for this one? We're going to talk about
Yes.
We're going to
I'm
talk
ready.
about the biggest news that happened later in the year, which was Jada Pinkett Smith. And I'm going to do an episode on my life coaching channel. So make sure that you follow that channel. And I'm going to put the link over here. That's the link there. I'm going to be doing a segment called The Perception of Relationships. And I'm going to talk about different relationships that we see on social media that gives the perception that everything is all well and good. And then when people break up, they're like, oh my God, what happened? I don't understand. They look so in love. And then people start picking sides. It's like, why are you picking a side for? You're not in their bed. You don't know what happened. You're only seeing what's
Yeah.
on the video, what they're showing you. They're
Um,
not showing you every single thing. So stop acting like you know what's going on. I really hate
Well, I have never liked Jada Pinkett Smith.
me either.
Ever. There has always been something about her that I've never liked. It has nothing to do with anything other
Right.
than as a woman's intuition, which I think
Yes.
that moving into 2024, we need to be like, okay, I trust this.
Mhm.
But there's always been red flags. Like her, okay, come on. Allegedly,
Mhm.
let's talk about her having alopecia, her alleged alopecia. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I've heard that. I've heard about that.
Yes.
There's always been this arrogance with her that I cannot quite understand. There was a video when she was doing her Red Table
Yeah.
Talk. There was she had that girl on, Lori Laughlin's daughter. I think her name is Jade or something like that. And she's asking
Mhm.
her all of these questions, and I felt like you're an adult and this girl, she's not really a child, but she's not a full-fledged adult, and you're asking her questions about that whole college scandal like she had some inside information. Whether she did or she didn't, I felt like you should be posing those questions to Lori Loughlin instead of antagonizing her daughter on your Red Table Talk.
Yeah, I feel like that was just really a show because I've seen a few episodes, and that's a really good episode out of most of them to bring up because that's a prime example of what I'm about to say. I feel like that show was really for her to bully people,
Mm-hmm.
gaslight people,
Yep.
and put herself in a light of like, oh, I'm this truthful person, you can trust me, and that is dangerous.
I agree.
It's so
I
dangerous.
agree. Why
It's a
would you
level
do
of
that?
narcissism. Yeah, it makes people vulnerable too, and then you invite people on your show to bully them. You know, it's
Like
like
what
she
like why would you do that? Why would you get on a
Yes.
show to be antagonized by the host of the
Right.
show?
Well, and I'm tired of celebrities trying to make themselves look like they try to bring themselves down to a level of like everyone. And it's, girl, you've been famous since the 90s, since
Yep.
Tupac was alive.
Mm-hmm.
He's been dead over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You've had to have hired security for years of your life. How is that relatable? Yes, you have
Right.
emotions. Everyone does. Yes, like
Mhm.
there's things that we all share no matter where you're at in your life. I don't know. Cardi B kind of said it best. There was an interview with her, and I love how honest she is. But they asked her basically like, why doesn't she come out with music that's more relatable? Why she doesn't have more relatable music now? You know, because when she first came out, she had some relatable songs, especially when she had that heartbreak with Offset and all of that. Anyways, moving on. My biggest point of all this is her response was, well, what am I going to write about? Like me being upset because thousands of people on Twitter are mad at me? You know what I mean? That's not relatable.
Mhm.
And she's so open about where she's at in her life. Kind of like Doja Cat too. There's a whole side of that too that makes it more, it's like these younger celebrities are like, no, we're not on the same plane. Like I was there one time in my life and here I'm at now in my life. But it's like Jada Pinkett and other celebrities too, especially that generation. It's like they try to make themselves relatable, and it's not. It's just gross. It's not relatable. It's out of touch.
I
That's my spill.
completely agree with you on that. I was watching Stephen A. Smith talking about the slap that happened at the Oscars.
Yeah.
he said something in this part of the video that I want to play. I'm going to play it and then we're going to talk about it a little bit.
Jada Pinkett Smith. And I am not going to utter a disrespectful word about her. That's not where I'm going. It's deeper than that. There are a few questions that Jada Pinkett Smith deserves to be asked to her. Where's your compassion? Where's your decency? Where is your respect for a man you still acknowledge is your husband? Where is the respect for a man you walked down the aisle with and pledged your life to in 1997, for better or worse, through rich, through poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do you part? It wasn't just talking about staying married. It talked about honoring those vows, at least to some degree. Where's all that? Stephen A., what the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? Well, let us count the ways.
Let's stop for a minute there. I watched this video several times, and the things he talked about in this video, you and I, we both watch similar content. We both know that there's this war, so to speak, of man versus woman relationships. Who is the one that's supposed to be in charge? You have people that talk about, well, the woman is supposed to be submissive. You have people that talk about relationships are supposed to be equal. You're supposed to be parallel with your partner. Whatever works in your relationship. I'm not going to get into the whole BDSM dynamic because that's a whole other topic. I'm very familiar with that topic because I interviewed a lot of people in that lifestyle, and that's a whole other thing. Somebody brought up she is probably the dominatrix, so to speak, in this relationship, and that she is whipping him to submission, and that's the reason why things are the way they are. I do not believe that. I believe in that type of relationship, there is a different dynamic. The foundation is built on respect. And for people to believe that is that type of relationship, you have to be insane and also not really exploring how people in that lifestyle live with their partner. Yes. Is one partner submissive and one partner dominant? Yes. But that does not mean that the dominant partner disrespects the submissive partner. And this is where a lot of people get confused. And then one woman, she had called into the Howard Stern show and said, Jada Pinkett Smith is, I forget what type of narcissist she called her, but she said that because of the experience that she had with her partner that she was married to, who was a narcissist, and she got away from that. It's very crazy. People are going to have different theories and different opinions. When Stephen A. Smith talked about where's the respect, where's the honoring of your vows and commitment, it's like, where is that? She's promoting this book that did not do very well. How many times was she on, like, what was it, NBC or something like that? Did she just kept on Hoda and Jenna Bush? She was just like making appearances.
Well, that's the thing, is that she just kept going. I felt like she just kept trying to push this narrative to almost like, again, continue. I felt like she was so successful in the past by making her like more human, that by having these extra interviews after, it was almost like it was her way of trying to save face. She was just trying to save face and ended up biting her in the ass so much more, because it didn't help her. If anything, it just like made her look, well, if anything, it just presented more of who she is. I think we really got a bigger picture what goes on inside that relationship, and also like who she is as a person. At the end of the day, they are both actors. They were acting like they were together for what, like 12 years? That's crazy.
When you think about the episode on Red Table Talk that she had with Will Smith, she was confronting him. Do you remember his face?
It was pretty defeated. That's so sad.
Why on earth would you sit across your husband. This has nothing to do with dominant, submissive. That has nothing to do with that. This is, I'm up here and you're down here, and I'm going to make a fool out of you every opportunity that I get. Where is the love? And where is the love for herself to have some kind of privacy and respect for this relationship? Here's
Really
another
toxic.
video calling the slap holy.
To
Stephen A.
slap the
Smith.
living shit out of Chris Rock during the 2022 Academy Awards has earned a new title to her called the Holy Slap. The Holy Slap. Brandon, I'm not making this up. The Holy Slap. Nelly, I'm not making this up. Okay? It seems that Will Smith played a surprising role in saving their marriage, as she goes on to say this, quote, "That moment of shit hitting the fan is when you see who people really are. After years of trying to figure out if I will leave Will's side, it took that slap for me to see I will never leave him."
I was just gonna bring that up. How toxic.
Is she for real? Oh, it took for it.
Like,
Can
I
you
can't.
imagine? It took for him to take his head and slam it up against the wall to make me realize that I was going to be with him forever. Because, you know, she does that whispery voice talk, like
Like,
she's trying to be powerful.
She's
That
so
slap,
annoying.
that slap changed things. We went in as a couple, and then
How
no,
weird.
wait. I'm backwards. Wait, we went in not as a couple, and then we left as a couple.
Like, what? Oh, I'm so glad that you harassed this person and completely ruined your career. So now we can be together. Like, what?
I just don't understand. Where do you begin? And then she wants to say she is empowering women. You're not empowering anyone. Not here on this side of the world. Unexpected deaths that took place this year. Well, for me, it was unexpected. Suzanne Summers, I didn't know she was sick. She passed away.
I forgot about her. Oh, that was devastating.
Yeah.
I
Suzanne Summers.
love her.
She
Devastating.
was awesome. She really was.
Yes.
Andre Brower. I don't know if you know who Andre
Yes.
Brower is.
That was a shock to me. And
Yeah.
I found out a couple days after he had passed. And it was kind of one of those moments when I found out, I was like, that's sad. He's so young. He was so young.
I know. He was 61.
That's so young.
And the first time I seen his work was on this TV show, Homicide: Life on the Street. That was my Friday night. I was with my ex at the time. It was the 90s. And his TV partner cop was this guy, Kyle Seeker. You couldn't tell me anything about him. Oh my goodness. I was like in love with this man. I told my ex, if I ever met Kyle Seeker in person, I will leave you. I guess I have like some kind of type.
You do.
But
You have a type.
It's
Definitely.
so weird. Except for the last one. Yeah, he passed away. Very, very good talent, and he's gonna be missed for sure. The next person also passed away unexpectedly in my book, Ralph Cirilla. Do you know
Ralph?
who he was? Howard Stern's.
Oh my gosh, that was so sad.
And
Oh
that
my God.
morning, I know that I got up like super early. I think that was the time that I got sick, right? Like with my stomach.
Yes, it is. Well, you
And
sent me that clip too, and that was just so. I listened to the whole thing, and it was just
yes.
sad. It was just freaking sad, and
Oh,
it was not only sad, but it was a good reminder of how important it is to check in on your friends and to make sure that they're taking care of themselves. Ugh,
yeah.
he was very young.
Was, and you know, Howard was talking about how he kept telling him over and over, get health insurance, take care of yourself. And I don't think that many people know, but they played one of the audios when 9/11 happened. He
Ugh.
went running over there for the rescue effort. Nobody knew what was underneath all that rubble and how all of that smoke and everything that was there was going to affect people later on on down the line.
Life
It's
is precious.
horrible.
It's precious. It really
It
is. And
is.
then you have assholes like Jada Pinkett Smith. You know what I mean?
And
It's
the
like,
trolls on
go
Reddit.
away. Go away.
The trolls on Reddit that don't understand the value of respect.
Bizarre to me that we have in the last so many years gone through so much and yet we still have no fucking respect for other people.
No, and people will still question. I think in order for you to have a profound experience, sometimes it's something like that, like what happened on 9/11, that gives you a whole different perspective on how you value your own life and the lives of everyone else around you. And
Yes.
Ralph Cirilla, he didn't think twice. He just ran over there
Yes.
and started helping. For me, I took it really hard
Oh, yeah, I know.
when Matthew Perry
Yes.
passed away.
That was shocking. That was a shocking death.
Matthew Perry passed away unexpectedly. They say the cause of death was some ketamine drug that he took. I'm gathering that.
Which is like a whole other conversation, but it's like people, once again, I'm so tired of people.
Me too. Me too.
Honestly, that it's one of those things too. You were very upset about that, and it was so close to such a holiday that he was known for. You know, Thanksgiving and Friends, like that is like
Mhm.
their holiday. That show's holiday. It's like
Yep.
you think of certain things around certain times, and it's like you thought of Friends and you thought of Thanksgiving. And Matthew Perry created such a safe person as not only as his character on the show, but like as his role modeled himself throughout his career. That's truly being a human right there. Humanizing yourself in a relatable way was Matthew Perry, not Jada Pinkett Smith. It was genuine.
There's no comparison.
It was devastating when he passed because he was genuine. You felt like closer to him because of how he perceived himself and how he was when he was honest. It felt honest. It didn't feel like a script.
Finally, we talked about a topic last year that was very, very serious. Shanquilla Robinson.
This still kills me. I'm still so unbelievably angry about this.
She passed away a year ago, this year in October, a year ago, she passed away. We did a show on my coaching channel, and I will link that below because we were talking about what jealousy can do, and was jealousy the motive of what happened to Shanquilla. And there's a woman that I actually follow. I'm going to link her channel, but she has done extensive. Her
I love her.
channel is called Cafe of Knowledge. Let me
I
just
know
share it
exactly.
with
And you shared her with me.
Yes.
Yes.
If you go to Cafe of Knowledge, it's youtube.com. I will link her below. This lady has broken so many things down. It's just crazy the hours that she has put in dedication to Shanquilla Robinson. So I just wanted to mention Shanquilla, who is no longer with us. It was a year anniversary. And I think about what a success story she would have been if the things that happened to her didn't happen to her. Wow. What stories we would be talking about of her successes. It really sucks that we can't do that we can't talk about these beautiful creations, her knowledge of business and talent. It's horrible. So yes, I wanted to close with that, close out this show. I think we covered a lot. We covered a lot more than was on my one page of what we were going to talk about. So
I love it. I love it.
thank you so much for being ever so helpful
Mhm.
with this. And I want to put the link up to follow her. Here is the link. This is my link to my coaching channel.
Is that what people do?
This is my unfiltered link. And don't forget to sign up to the mailing list. And something A Girl in a Plant World has been helping me with, Servebox is expanding and introducing new products. So I am going to be coordinating a raffle to give away some boxes. And the only way you can be part of that is signing up for the mailing list, following me on social media, and
It's worth it.
following my channels. That is the only way. And don't unfollow after you win your prize.
Oh, the worst.
Because
The
that
worst.
would be tacky. So with all that being said, I want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching this very special year-end review. Thank you again to A Girl in a Plant World. She's like become my best friend this past. It's so crazy how you just connect with somebody on a deeper level. And this is a friendship that I highly respect, and I appreciate you so much.
Thank you for having me too.
And Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that you're going to be joining me and A Girl in a Plant World next year, because we're going to be doing a lot of different things, and we're going to take over the world. I mean, we're going to take over the world.
Okay, Jada. Oh.
And with all that being said, always remember, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and most importantly, take care of you. Happy New Year. Bye, everybody.